My next three guests are glamorous, self-confessed girly girls, but they also happen to be powerlifters. One is the senior world champion, another is the junior world champion, and the third is a well-known television presenter who is attempting to join their ranks. Would you welcome, please, Danielle Hayes, Emma Scott and Lisa Cannon, ladies and gentlemen.
I am strong, I'm invincible, I am woman. I am strong, I'm invincible, I am woman. Welcome on and all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Powerlifting, look, what am I going to say? What do I know about powerlifting? I can barely lift the glass. But a kind of unlikely sport for the three of you. So why get involved? What brought you into it, Danielle?
For me, I probably started weightlifting about 5 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
I only started powerlifting in January.
What is powerlifting? Before we ask you how you got into it, why don't I ask you what it is exactly?
It's literally training for strength, for power. So you're trying to break through, trying to get a repetition max lift.
Yeah.
So whatever that may be, depending on your weight or how strong you are.
Sure.
The three lifts that we do is the squat, which is where it's across your back, and you squat down into a seated position below breaking parallel and then back up. We do the bench press, which is where you're lying flat on the bench and you take it out and you bring it back down here and back up. And then we do the deadlift, which is breaking the weight from the floor up to here, locking out your hips.
You look confused.
Not at all. Not at all. It's kind of a mixture between terror, horror, and fear at the idea of having to do such a thing. But it's competition, Lisa. That's what it's all about. I mean, this isn't just lift a bar and put it down and go.
No. I mean, I'm going to be competing in the IPO Championships on the 5th of April. So I've only got like 7 or 8 weeks to do what these girls do. It is terrifying. It's strong. It's a good challenge, though. So
you're all kind of quite muscled up. I mean,
a little bit.
You must be at this stage. So Danielle, I'll go back to the video where we'll get. Oh Jesus, they're huge.
Can I see the guns?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they're enormous. I'm feeling so inadequate. I'll be honest with you. But let's talk a little bit about your adventure and how you got involved. Tell me what happened.
Well, I suppose I only started powerlifting in January just last year.
Right.
My brother was the one that Dara Hayes. He's actually a former Mr. Universe model.
Yeah.
He got me into it. He kind of gave me the push to do it.
Yeah.
But my fitness journey probably started about 6 years ago, back when I was in college. Most of my life I struggled with my weight.
Did you?
Yeah, I'd say up until 17 I would have been obese.
Right, what sort of stone were you talking about?
At 17 I was about 13 stone, 7 pounds. Oh God, looking at those photographs.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, that's the reality of where you were at that time of your life. And do you know why, or do you have a reason as to why you got to that position in the world?
Just emotional eating. Like anytime I was sad or happy, food was my kind of go-to.
Yeah.
Just as a kid as well, you're not very conscious of healthy foods. I'm a teacher, and I see it in in the kids that I teach. Like they haven't a clue what healthy is.
Yeah.
So like I would make. I'd just go to the shop and I'd buy whatever I wanted.
And your default position was food, eat away and get going on that. And anyway, you decided to lose that weight, obviously.
When I was 17 for my debs, I decided, I'm going to lose lots of weight for my debs. Ended up developing an eating disorder from that.
Right.
Became obsessed with calorie countings and ended up developing bulimia as well.
Right. So you had a horrible relationship with food then.
Yeah, but it kind of became my hate, just the thoughts of it. At one stage, I just decided not even to eat anything at all.
Right, okay.
In college, people would be saying to me, "You're not having lunch today?" I'm like, "No, I'm not hungry." But
and then
it was a tough mental struggle.
And then how did you get out of that? Because that's a cycle. So how do you remove yourself from such?
My brother.
And he said, "Come here, try this thing."
Yeah, he was a professional footballer at the time as well. Yeah. Nobody knew. I hid it for so long.
Yeah.
And he just said he found out and
and sorted you out, rescued you from that.
Yeah.
And what a transformation! I mean, it's extraordinary. You must be
it's crazy.
Very, very happy with the way.
Worked hard for it.
Yeah, of course you did. And Emma, your situation's a little bit different because it's kind of like a family business and almost.
I suppose my powerlifting journey started when I was in the womb. My mother was pregnant on me at my first powerlifting championships because my dad is celebrating his 25th year in powerlifting this year.
Okay.
So I've kind of always been around the sport from my dumbbell rows, kicking the dumbbells with my feet when I was very small, and I just started competing in it last year. So I've always been around it, but it was...
You had no choice. It was just a family business.
Yes.
You were going to lift that.
Never dad.
Yeah.
And
he trained me one of the days actually before.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 weeks ago, we went down to her family gym. Great one we had.
And my brother James, now he started lifting when he was about 13,
yes.
and so we're talking 12 years. So he's still on the go, and they're all at the whole house are referees. Dad's an international powerlifting referee, so they all keep me in check and make sure I'm doing everything right.
Drinking. Let's have a look at you in action, Danielle. Powerlifting, so we can just put it into context. Exactly. Have a look at Danielle, and you can talk to us as we're sitting and explain to us what it is we're looking at. There you are.
This here was the end of November. It's 160 kilos, so the equivalent to like Brian O'Driscoll and his wife, and 10 bags of sugar more.
On top, so Brian, Amy, and their weekly shopping. Yeah. That's you lifting all of that.
That's actually a single lift at a record as well.
Which is pretty spectacular.
More than 2 of me, yeah.
And Emma, we're going to see you doing something. I think this is one of the squats you were describing a little bit earlier on. And again, you can talk us through what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so this was over at the World Championships with the IDFPA in Glasgow last November.
Yeah.
I think by the looks of that little struggle, that was the 87.5 kilo squat, which is about 1.5 times my body weight.
Now, obviously, I don't really know much about this, as you can gather, but you know, wait, don't snigger. It's just a case of.
Well, actually,
yeah.
Do you even lift?
Do I lift? There you go.
There's the glass.
But you know, I always thought lifting was, in my ignorance, like and then down again. Yeah. But you just kind of go, you lift it up to there, and then would you not?
Well, there's 3 different lifts. You have a squat, and then you have a deadlift and a bench. So there's 3 different ones that you know, depending on your strengths.
I know you're going to come to me, so
I'm coming straight to you now, and I want you to tell me, what are you doing here? How did you get involved in this?
How did I get on this couch?
Well, of all the things.
Of all the things. Well, you know what? It was just a couple of months ago, and I decided I wanted to challenge myself and do something different, and I wanted a goal for 2014. Okay. And so many people were saying, powerlifting, that just doesn't match. There's no way you can do it. And lots of people were saying because it's so, you know, it's supposedly a male-dominated sport, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to show you I can do it, and people doubted me, and it kind of spun me on to really do the challenge. So I've got 8 weeks to become a pro from a novice state, and I think it's really challenging, but in a great way, because it kind of empowers women about being fierce, being strong. It's not about the body; it's about being mentally strong as well. Because you can see those girls, what they do. It's incredible.
It's about. No, it's not so much weight loss as fitness. Is that the idea, or is it a big?
It's about being strong physically. As you can see, I was showing you my guns there. Welcome to the gun show.
Yeah, we're actually getting a glorious shot of that, which is wonderful.
You.
But you're making a documentary about this as well, aren't you? So that's part of the reason, as well as you trying to show everyone that you can do it.
That I can do it.
You're also going to film it.
Absolutely. So it's showing me kind of warts and all, taking away the false tan and the eyelashes, and becoming just a person who's going to start a really long, powerful journey. And I'm a normal girl. Listen, I'm a size 12. I'm like most people to be sitting there having a glass of wine, watching you on a Friday night. I enjoy my takeaways. And I just kind of thought, you know what, this could be something that would really push me, ass to the grass. This is what I literally am going to have to do.
What's the hardest part? Is it removing the fake tan and the eyelashes, or is it actually the...
No, Ryan, God, it's the diet. You can still do that, okay. It is the diet.
I'm competing in the morning, Ryan, and I have my nails done.
I love the way you do it. I'm competing in the morning, Ryan, and I have my tan and nails fine.
No, it's the diet. It's absolutely the diet, because I've got to eat small little meals throughout the day.
Okay.
6 meals a day. And that's really hard, because if you love your chocolate and you love your little bits and bobs, you've got to eat tuna with, brown rice, no dressing, and you've got to have cereal with protein shakes in the morning. So I'm becoming
I'm hungry just listening to you talk, actually.
Yeah. It is very disciplined.
You have to have discipline.
You do, I think, and you also need to kind of just man up a bit, or woman up.
It's just the thing that girls, like, nearly every girl, like, they just strive to be a skinny mini. I did it myself. I just wanted to be skinny. Just skinny. But like this, it's empowering for women, like being strong. Like some of the guys that I speak to on nights out, like, can't lift as heavy as what I am, and they feel quite intimidated about that.
This is, you talk about people like when you meet competitively, or when you're out having a job.
Just when you're out and people don't realise you're a powerlifter at all.
Yeah. Is that a line for you when you say what you do? Like, any hobbies? Do you?
What do you like to do?
When they say, you say, oh, I'm a school teacher, and they say, that's lovely.
You kind of get a lot, like, so what do you do for fun? I was like, actually, I'm a competitive powerlifter.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not.
How does that go down?
They're intimidated.
Like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
It is exciting though, and it's great meeting these girls, because it kind of shows me what challenges I have ahead of me, which is kind of scary. How's
your fiance?
Well, he thinks it's great. I mean, we both kind of were talking about it, and he's obviously been an athlete for 15 years, so to kind of swap the pints for the protein shakes for me is the hardest part. But doing the weights, I'm actually quite strong. I did ballet for 16 years, so I'm hoping my legs will stay with me for the next 8 weeks. I'm quite flexible, so, you know, just even doing the last 2 or 3 weeks, you know, TV3 are going to be following me, and even with the cameras there, you know, you do have to grunt and grit, and I chipped a tooth as well, so I know these girls are strong, but I've got to go the distance for the 8 weeks.
I've got to ask you, as unrelated to the powerlifting, but it was a very important moment in your life about getting engaged. How were you proposed to? I'd love to know.
Oh, I was proposed to in Paris, in Le Palais Royal. Do you know the Royal Gardens? And do you know?
No, I don't really. I presume they're beautiful.
They're beautiful. They're really near the Louvre, and we were wandering around, had a really nice day, and then we went into the Palais Royal, and Richard had secretly put a musician who was disguised as a busker.
What?
In the gardens at 5 p.m. So when we were just totting around, he was like, look at this fountain, is that lovely? And I was like, yeah, whatever, like, great. And then went over and he was playing a French song, he just stopped. And then he broke into Snow Patrol's Just Say Yes. Oh,
so. Jeepers.
Very sweet. Yeah, no, that's really nice. Everyone's crying now.
And what happened then?
I was completely stumped, obviously, and tears were flowing, but even more romantic, he got down on one knee as the chorus was blending, Just Say Yes, and he had proposed with my mother's engagement ring. And you know my mum has passed on, so that was really
thoughtful, and that meant an awful lot to you, obviously. And then you spent, what, another couple of days and nights in Paris?
We stayed in Paris, we hung out in the Le Bristol Hotel, and it was beautiful. I mean, he'd all roses and chocolates and everything when I got in there, and the staff were clapping, because they'd helped him organise everything through French. He doesn't speak French.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who are thinking of getting engaged who now hate your fiancé. and they're probably thinking, God, that's the game's up.
No, it was up there. It was definitely up there. And then we just hung around, went down to Avignon, phoned my dad. My dad was overjoyed, you know, and celebrated.
It's really
It's
a real fairy tale, yeah.
Well, at the very end of the garden, he actually said, your carriage awaits, which I was expecting a carriage. it was a car, it was a limo. But it was like, a carriage as well? Oh my God, brilliant.
Because I was reading in the paper that you're having an engagement party for 400 friends, which would you like to clarify that? Because I thought that's how Celtic Tiger of you.
Not quite Celtic Tiger. Well, you know, I wanted to do something 80s,
you
something
have 400
fun.
friends?
I think we're going to, we're going to invite everyone from the audience gets to take it as well. Or you need to say the line, But you know what, you need to come, because I believe you've got an Indiana Jones costume lying around that needs a second outing.
That's a very private... no. That's from the toy show, yeah?
Yeah, well, we want to do just a big celebration, really good fun. We're both 80s children, so we want smoke machines, a DeLorean outside, Back to the Future, and everyone dressed in 80s costumes. Just a real good giggle for the
Okay, and then the wedding, is there a plan?
Nothing yet, no. We're going to just sit on the engagement and enjoy that. I think the 80s party is going to be a good, you know, kind of
It's a good start, and then maybe Richard will build a castle made out of unicorns and marshmallows.
And I'll ride in and a large meringue.
You could probably squat more than him now as well, I'd say.
Do you know it'll probably be a drive-through in Vegas, Ryan, to be honest.
Okay,
I will let you do it.
Will you be competing back into the powerlifting? Are you going to be competing at a competition level, or are you just is this a bit of sport for you?
Oh, no, this is competition level. I mean, I'm hoping, God willing, I'll get a medal. I mean, that would just be wonderful. I mean, and I think a lot of people always are asking me all week, like, oh, you're going to be really muscly, you're going to get really big. No, it's not like that. It's a completely different sport to bodybuilding, and it's about pushing weights, you know, getting to the weight that you need to be, and you cannot hide from that, and you cannot lie either. So if I push, I think it's about 100 kgs I want to get over the line, which is about the same weight as Cian Healy. If I can do that.
What, do you want to lift Cian Healy?
Yeah, I would love to lift Cian Healy. Maybe you and Cian together.
Yeah, no, look, I'm at a very different level for beginners, maybe. And Emma, you're competing tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so how are you
doing?
doing?
We'll give a big shout out to all the IDFPA lifters getting ready for their national lifts in the morning.
And how are you? Do you do prep for that? I mean, obviously tonight you'll have an early night after here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have taken the last week off training to rest up, which is a really important part of powerlifting.
Okay, good.
So last week I tried out all my targets for my lifts, and I'm on form.
Target.
So I'm hoping now that it'll show up on the day and I'll perform my best.
Oh, good luck tomorrow. Now, you were meant to be. Were you competing tomorrow, Danielle? What's the story?
A week ago, I sprained my sacroiliac tendon, which literally is a little tendon in your bum. So, yeah, sorry.
That's okay. That's what happens.
I can't compete.
Was it through the training and so on?
Yeah, I was deadlifting, but it's going to use it positively and now go further. But I'm doing my national ref test in the morning.
tomorrow
so,
anyway.
Yeah, so I can become a referee at the national competitions.
Oh, right,
Something
okay.
positive.
So, and is it a big thing? Is it because I know at one stage everyone was doing Thai rugby, and then people were doing, you know,
I think it's become bigger, hasn't it? I think more women are getting interested.
Last year at our national championships, there was about 12, 15 girls, and I think we've just shy of 50 ladies competing tomorrow.
Okay, so
it's becoming really popular.
Yeah, in the last year or two, it has exploded. Yeah, in Ireland.
I think that as well. I think that's why it's for me doing the documentary with TV3. It's great because I think women are going to really realise that you don't become a big muscle blender. You're going to be shredded and toned in a different way, and it's exciting because it's an empowering sport. But also, it's just about being smart and trying different things that work for you. And like I said, I've tried every diet under the sun, and I think that you need to set yourself goals, and this is a challenge beyond anything I've ever dreamed of before. So
I'm
going
to join you in training next week, and I'm hopefully compete.
What's your squat? What's your personal best squat?
I'd say a personal best of 1.5.
That's not bad.
Yeah, in over the course of an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's but I'm good.
We can coach you
inch by inch. I look forward to it. Good luck in all your competitions and in everything else. Lisa, busy times for you. I have to say.
Very busy times.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's very good. And anyone who wants to watch me can watch me in Ireland every Thursday. Following my
progress. You know we will be. This is wonderful. Thank you, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, our friends Powerlifters, Danielle and Emma and Lisa.